people, man, we are
Definitely.
destroyed, man.
Stuck in their ways. I already know. I already know.
You know, some of us is calling for, hey, man, just nuke some black folks and let's just keep it going.
Yeah, but we're gonna try our best through the spirit, through the power of the Most High. But at the same time, endure, keep the commandments. That's it.
So, what what religious ideology were you from before you knew that you was an Israelite?
Well, I was dabbling in kind of everything. Like first, I was in like the Muslim faith, as you can call it. Before that, I was just like I just believe in God. God. Like I guess I was a Christian, quote
Right.
unquote. After that, like before I got into it, I was a so-called Muslim.
Okay, and now were you an Orthodox Muslim or the Nation of Islam?
Like a black Muslim, so I was listening to Farrakhan Khan.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay, that makes sense though, because if you were Orthodox, I'd be like, well, Orthodox Muslims believe in the virgin birth, but the Nation of Islam don't. So now I can see why, what led you to the path you're on now, because it's kind of like a similar doctrine.
Right, and I was reading the Quran. They said that Abraham had built the Kaaba stone. That's not true. So that's what made me feel like.
Yeah, I guess that would be their account.
That was all for me. So I'm like, ooh, hold on, what's going on? So I had to do some deeper research on that. Lord woke me up to this.
Yeah. So when you were a Christian, did you accept the Trinity or you were opposed to that?
That's a good question. That is a good question, bro. To be honest, I really don't know. I just knew that Christ was a man. He was a black man. I already knew he was black, even in Christianity, that he died for our sins, and I knew that God was real. I really wasn't much into the doctrines. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he was, if he was made by an angel or whatever, it don't make sense. But I wouldn't care. But if he was made by the flesh, which it says in the scriptures, then I wouldn't care. I would just live in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's interesting because do you believe that Jesus had a mother, earthly mother, and earthly father?
Yeah, it's in the scriptures.
All right. So before we touch on that, so how would you explain him doing the things that he was able to do with just a earthly mother, and earthly father?
Well, it says, I'm going to grab the scripture right here. It says, when he was about to heal the blind man in John chapter 9, right? I'm going to read it for you. It says right here, John chapter 9, start at verse 1. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind, right?
Yeah.
Christ answered, neither have this man sinned nor his parents, but the works of God should be made manifest in him. So all the miracles was through the power of the Most High.
The miracles?
Yeah.
What chapter and verse is that? Let me pull it up.
That was John 9.
Hold on.
The point was at verse 3.
Hold on. KJ, let me just share my screen so I can make sure I'm pulling the same thing up. And is this a Muslim Bible or the King James Bible?
I'm in the KJV with the Apocrypha. I'm in the KJV, the official tissue.
Yeah, I tell you, tricked me with some Muslim Bible.
No. Muslim. I don't deal with that no more.
John
I did get these books though. Let me show you these books that I got from Mr. Farrakhan. Good information in these books though. You probably seen these before. Let me know if you can see it, bro.
So I see the back of it. Okay, what's that called?
This is The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews.
I heard of that. Right. I don't own it, but I heard of it.
I got both of them. The Jewish role in the enslavement of the African and how Jews gained control of Black American economy.
Okay. So I'm at John chapter 9, verse 3. Okay. Let me just make sure. So now your point for reading this was to prove what?
Huh?
Your point for reading this was to prove what?
Oh, you said how? You said because Christ was like normal, was just a man like us, born just like a man like us, You said how was he be able to perform the miracles, right? So
right.
Verse 3 is the point. And verse 4. This is out of Christ's mouth,
Okay. What about when he walked on water?
Some people say that was like a parable.
Wait, it can't be a parable if he told his disciples to come on the water too.
Right. So yeah, I believe it. I believe what the scriptures say.
So what man born of a man and woman just could walk on water?
The Son of God.
Right. The Son of God, not the son of a man.
Yeah, but he's the son. He's the firstborn of God.
He's the second. No, he's the second.
Christ was the firstborn.
The Bible calls him the second. Adam was the first.
Well, if you know, then you know that Adam was Christ.
Okay, so that makes it even sweeter because Adam did not have a father besides the Most High, and Christ did not have a father besides the Most High. So that makes sense. So you agree that Jesus had no father?
No, he had an earthly father.
So who was Adam's earthly father?
Adam didn't have an earthly father. He was made from the dust of the ground.
Right, by the Father, right?
By Most High God, Yahweh.
Right. So Yahweh had everything to do with Adam's creation, correct?
Right.
He had, and the Bible shows he had everything to do with Jesus' creation outside of an earthly man.
Well, when you read Hebrews chapter 2, right? Go to Hebrews chapter 2, verse 6. Start at verse 6.
Give me some time to get there. Because I'm using online. Be like slow. All right, so let me go to Hebrews.
So just to break it down for you before we read this, so before even the earth was made, the heavens, the waters, the plants, the animals, the fishes in the sea and whatnot, it was just the Most High, and the Most High made Christ, and Christ, through the power of the Most High, he made the heavens and the earth and everything that's in it. That's in Colossians 1.
Right.
And then over time, the sixth day, which is a day is 1,000 years. So after 6,000 years, right? So the Lord made Adam, and Christ was in this. Adam had the spirit of Christ.
Right. So Adam was the form of the physical fleshly form of Jesus, right?
Right.
Right. So what I'm pointing out is, and before we do Hebrews, is that that's twice that when Christ come in the fleshly form, he's not created by a father.
No, it's only once. It's one Adam.
All right. Well, I'm gonna show it was twice. But anyway, you at Hebrews where?
Chapter 2, start at verse 16, right?
Okay, verse 16. It says, "For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham."
Right, the seed of Abraham. He came
Right.
from the line of Abraham, and seed just means sperm, right?
Well, no.
Seed doesn't mean sperm. You sure?
No. Yeah.
All right, go to Leviticus 15 and 16.
Okay. So now, no problem. But are you gonna compare Hebrew with Greek?
Huh? We can go to this. We can go to it.
Okay. So let me go to Leviticus real fast.
15.
Leviticus and what what chapter?
15, verse 16, right?
Leviticus 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm at 16.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So if any man's seed, right, of copulation, what's copulation?
Copulation is let's see. Okay. It's a layer.
It's
Or
active,
or active sex.
right?
Right.
And yeah. Okay, so it's sex. Copulation is sex.
So you got if any man's wait, but don't also I'm trying to understand. So Adam, right, did not come by way of sex, correct?
He was made from the dust of the ground.
Right. But he didn't come by sex.
No.
And Adam was the form of Christ, the spirit.
Adam was Christ, yes.
Right. But he was in the form of the spirit Christ.
He had the spirit of Christ in him, yeah.
Right. So through Adam, Christ did not come on the earth through sex.
Through what?
Through sex.
Through through Adam what?
So when Adam became the form of the spirit Christ,
yeah,
that form came on the earth in the flesh, not by way of sex, correct?
Adam?
Right.
Right.
Right. So when it comes to Jesus, the first time he came on earth, it was had nothing to do with sex.
Adam, yes.
Okay. So now we're talking about so what was the point of in the New Testament that seed meant sperm?
I'll say that again. What's the point of what?
Yeah, because we read something earlier. Verse 16. All right. Yeah. So if you look here in different translations, the word seed in the Greek, it just simply means an actual seed, like mustard seed, or it means offspring or an actual child.
Offspring, yeah.
Right, an actual child. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question here would be, why did not he take on the nature of angels then?
Because if you read on, let's read on.
Yeah.
Verse 17 explains it. Wherefore, in all things, it behooved him. It was very important to be made like unto his brethren, right? He had brothers, James, right. Joseph, right? And us, we his brothers, right? And we're human, right? We don't, right? That he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. He knew we was dealing with, right? And that he himself has suffered being tempted. He was tempted also, right? Yeah. An angel doesn't get tempted by sin. Read it on. He is able to succor them that are tempted because he went through the same things we did. So he's able to comfort us, to save us, and comfort us with the scriptures and with his acts, and follow his example.
So, are you familiar with this entire chapter?
Yeah, I read the entire chapter before.
All right, can you read verse 9?
Verse 9, yeah.
Go ahead.
But we See, Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels.
So verse 16 says he did not take on angels, which verse 9 corroborates. But it says that he took on a nature a little lower than the angels. And why? Can you keep reading?
For the suffering of death.
Right, so that he could taste death, so he could actually be crucified. So the reason why he didn't come with the nature of an angel is because he wouldn't have died on the cross. So he came a little lower than the angel, a little lower, still higher than man. And there's no man and woman who can have a baby that's made a little lower than angels. That
Who said
baby,
that?
that
Who said
baby,
that?
right? So that baby would just be as fallible as the parents. So the only way a human being could have some type of accountability of a child being made a little lower than the angels will be the Most High hand involved again, like with Adam.
You guys show me a scripture, 2 or 3. That
Okay.
explains that. I need 2 or 3 scriptures
All
to
right.
show that Christ wasn't made by a man.
Okay. So let me get you the 2 or 3 scriptures. Okay. So first we read this one where he was made a little lower than angels. So we know man and woman nowhere in the Bible has created an offspring that was made a little lower than angels. Okay. So now let's go to, you want to go to Philippians?
Oh, that's great. If you go to Philippians chapter 2, right?
Yeah.
And read
Let's do that.
verse 7.
Before 7, because we're gonna read up to it. Read 5, 6, and 7.
Okay. We're in Philippians 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start. Verses 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus, who, being in the form of God.
Yeah. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26.
Right. But before we do that though, I just want to explain that you really can't bounce to explain Greek to the Hebrew, but let's do it anyway. So Genesis chapter 1.
Who made up that rule? Is that in the Bible?
Well, when you're reading Greek, the Greek authors got certain words, certain strong numbers for Greek.
Oh, we're reading English. We're reading English right now, bro.
All right, no problem, because that's gonna come back and bite you in a second. But no problem. Genesis chapter 1. So we throw away that rule, then you're gonna be in trouble when I read seed. All right, so Genesis chapter 1.
Verse 26. Being in the form of God. This explains him being made in the form of God, because we are made in the form of God.
So where does it say form here?
Right here, being in the form of God, right there.
Where?
Philippians 2 and 6.
No, I'm talking about Genesis.
Genesis 1:26, and God said, "Let us make man in our image." That's
right.
Another word for form, image.
No, that's not another word for form. No. That you got to prove that. So now, but you did say Adam was in the form of Christ. See, that's a different story. So that means fashion. Just so if Christ comes to earth, he's going to take on a certain form, and Adam was that form, which had no earthly mother or father. And then we see Jesus comes in the form of God again, and this time, because he had to come lower than angels, he could not take on no parents. He had to take on one to become lower than an angel. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to die again. So, and Adam was created to not taste death also. It wasn't until he bit of the tree of good and evil.
He sinned. He listened to his wife. He listened to his woman, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Philippians 2 and 6 says that Christ was in the form of God. So again, where does a man and woman, earthly man and woman, give seed to bring forth offspring, and that child is in the form of God?
We are. I just explained it to you. Genesis 1 and 26.
Okay, so can you finish? Can you finish reading 6? It says, "Who being in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal to God." Are we equal to God?
Are we equal to God? No,
Right.
because we can't do what God do. We don't know what God knows.
So verse 6, is it saying Jesus is equal to God?
No.
Okay, so explain when it says thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
I just said it to you.
Didn't catch it.
If you equal with God, that means you are God. You know what he knows, right? You do what he could do. You know when he's coming. You know when Christ is coming back. Christ don't even know when he's coming back.
So what does it mean? Again, the words thought it not robbery to be equal with God. What does that mean?
I just told you, bro.
Is this saying Jesus is equal to God?
No, though it's clearly says though it not robbery to be equal with God.
Okay, so let's leave that and let's go to Galatians.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for you to go there. Galatians 4, chapter 4, verses 4.
Read it. Read it.
Okay. But when the fullness of time was gone, but when the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his son, not Joseph's son. God sent forth his son, made of a woman, not made of an earthly man, made under the law.
What that mean?
That means what it says. God sent forth his son, made of Mary.
Yeah, made of a woman. What
Right.
that mean? Made under the law. What that mean?
Under the law means that once he was born, he had to be circumcised, all the Jewish laws.
And why is that?
Because he's a Jew. He's an Israelite.
No, because now you got to go to the law and see why. If you go to Leviticus, start at 12, right? Go to Leviticus 12, and it's going to explain why he was made, how he was made under the law.
Go ahead.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Right. So it says right here, Leviticus 12. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a man, if a woman have conceived seed, so that just cut you right there, bro. That cut you right there. If a woman have conceived seed,
right?
What that mean?
Conceived seed. Well, you said seed is sperm, so okay.
Right. So Mary conceived sperm, bro, by Joseph.
Women can't conceive seed?
I'll read it again. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a woman have conceived seed, so Mary conceived seed.
Yeah, Jesus.
By Joseph.
No.
How you gonna say no, bro? You're going against the scriptures. You don't believe that.
So women don't have seed?
Bro, how can a woman conceive her own seed, bro?
No, you read 12, so this is clearly talking about a woman and a man having sex. But I'm asking you this: can a woman have seed of their own?
A woman has eggs, bro. She doesn't have seed.
Right. So I'm asking a simple question: Do they have seed?
I said no.
Okay. Go to Genesis chapter 3. I need you to explain this one for me.
All right.
Read verse 15.
This is a prophecy.
All right.
And this woman is talking about Israel.
It's talking about Eve, actually.
It's not talking about Eve. It's
Okay,
talking about
so
Israel.
let me read. Okay, so this is what he said to the serpent. He said, "I will put my enmity between thee, the serpent," and he says, "and the woman, Eve," because Eve was called the woman all through the Bible. Okay, Old Testament, Genesis. So then it says, "I will put my enmity between thee, the serpent, and the woman, Eve, and between his seed, the serpent's seed, and Eve's seed." It's okay. So Eve have a seed here.
Okay, a woman conceived seed, right? So that means that's her seed. If she conceived it, right?
No, the word conceive is not here this time, buddy. It just says her seed.
Okay, but don't a woman? It just said in Leviticus 12:2 that woman conceived seed. So that means the seed is in her. So that means
okay, but you're mixing up the cases. No, that was a case where a woman was actually conceiving seed. But this one right here does not use the word conceiving seed.
So what seed is this talking about?
Yeah, Eve seed.
And how did she conceive it? By sex, right?
No. You keep adding a word there that's not there.
Bro, this is plain, bro.
It's saying, all right, so let me give you something else. Since you hung up on that, I got something else for you.
Bro, this is plain. How can a woman have a seed? She had to conceive it, bro.
Nah, we didn't read that just now, but I got something for you. That's a little more compelling. So I will drop that one and I will go where it's more clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't mind, do you? If I go somewhere that's more clear?
I go to it. Tell me what it is.
Yeah, let me just look at my notes. I wrote it down somewhere. Let me just. I came across this like 2 days ago. So let me just. Okay, so I'm getting close. Papa. Shit. I hate this damn Mac. Okay. Go to Genesis. Let's stay in Genesis. Try chapter 4.
Okay.
Read verse 25.
Verse 25, right? And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, she had appointed me another seed instead of Abel, who claimed slew. Okay.
So who has pointed him another seed?
I'll read again. For God said, she have appointed me another seed instead of, this is Adam speaking, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Hold on. See, yeah. Appointed me another seed instead of Abel, who came slew. So it's right there saying that seed is just another child.
Yeah, that's my point though. See, that's one of my points. Seed doesn't always mean sperm. That's what I'm trying to say. Seed is an offspring or an actual child. So I'm glad you picked that up. Now go to Genesis. Wait. One more verse. That had nothing to do with the seed of a woman. I just wanted to point out that seed does not mean sperm. Now go to 16:8. Genesis.
So seed also means just child, right?
Seed in the Bible, seed normally just means an actual seed or offspring or child. It never really means sperm. But Genesis chapter 16, verses 8, this one I want you to go with the woman's seed.
You said Genesis 16 and verse 8?
Yeah.
Genesis 16, verse 8. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid.
Okay, so I just want you to know that we're talking about Hagar. Okay, go ahead.
Whence camest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai.
All right, now read verse 10.
Verse 10. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for a multitude. Yeah, that seed just means child.
Okay, so women that have seed, that's my point.
Women, biological, woman does not have seed. They have eggs, bro.
We just read it.
This is talking about the child. I will multiply Ishmael exceedingly, that it shall be numbered for a multitude.
Yes, it's always talking about child. That's the point. It's never talking about sperm. But there is one.
How did she get the child? She had to conceive seed, right?
But there is one verse in the Bible. There is one verse in the Bible where it actually talks about sperm, and when the brother ain't want to give his brother's wife kids, and then he spilled the. That's the only time it talks about actual sperm. When you read seed, it's talking about offspring, an actual seed of a plant or a child. That's it. So women can get seed, and men can get seed.
You're not being real, bro.
All
you gotta turn the Bible to real. This is not a fairy tale book, bro. This is clear. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed. Is this literally talking about a damn mustard seed or a damn sunflower seed, or is it talking about Ishmael, bro?
Yeah, I think you missed what I was saying. I was saying in the context of the word seed, it's going to be one of three. It's going to talk about, of course, it's not talking about a mustard seed. It's not talking about offspring. It's talking about, like you said, Ishmael. But not just Ishmael, it's also talking about offspring, because it said all of his offspring afterwards. So but I think you missed my point. I'm saying when you said seed earlier in Hebrews 2 and 16, you said sperm. And then you ran to the Old Testament. I'm telling you that it's never talking about sperm. It's always talking about an actual seed of a plant, a child, singular, or offspring, a lineage.
All right. So if that's the case, it still doesn't matter because a woman has to conceive seed to make a child.
So we'll touch on that a little later. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about touching on it right now. I'm thinking about it. Matter of fact, are you familiar with the genealogy in Matthew chapter 1?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the genealogy in Luke chapter 3?
Luke chapter 3.
Yeah.
One is talking about it stands from Joseph, and the other one is talking about stands from Mary.
Right. So yeah, because I heard other people. I heard the captain say he was terribly wrong. I was surprised. He said both were Joseph.
Oh, no, one is Mary and one is Joseph.
Yeah, that was. I'm like, dude, how you gonna make that shit up? Okay, so can we look at Matthew's real quick? Matthew's chapter 1. Yeah, give me a second to pull it up too. Shit. Give me 2 seconds to charge this iPad.
All right.
2 seconds. Where's my phone at? I was gonna charge my phone too if I could find it. Look at this shit here. Give me a second.
All right.
I was gonna charge my phone too, but I can't find it. And yo, that's why I'm like, yo, I'm tired of these phones that's black. I'm about to get some old fruity, colorful ass phone so I can always find it. I'm gonna put rhinestones and everything on that thing.
Crazy, man.
I can never find this phone because it's black. You dig? I'm like, I wish this shit glow in the dark. Yeah, I'm just saying my girl phone is somebody else. Like, yeah, that's my girl's. I found it.
Okay.
And you're with IU UC, right?
I congregate with them.
Huh?
I congregate with them.
Yeah. What about Sakari?
Yeah, I congregated with them a couple of weeks ago.
Any reason why they don't just become one camp?
They got different views on the scriptures.
But they small. It's not enough to like not combine. It's like small little differences.
I know just the multiple wives, the the lily, what people call the Star of David, the stars are circles. What else they don't agree on? The Sabbath day.
That might be huge. That might be huge.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. But I don't know if you know or not. They do. Deacon IBF, IUIC, and Chief, they friends. They talk. Often,
yeah, I heard them shout each other out recently. That's why I asked you. Like, oh, that's cool. Like, at least they talking.
Yeah, so.
Okay, but I'm glad. Yeah, because I heard. What about Truth Nation? You heard of them?
I heard about them, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah, And they were like a red garment, like a burgundy type garment.
Nah, never seen them before.
Yeah, they're relatively growing a little bit.
I think one of my brothers watched them.
Really?
Yeah, he know most of the older camps. Yeah.
Yeah, they also teach that Luke's marries and so does IU IU Israel United IUUC. They also know that, and it's good you know that because it makes it easier. All right, so Matthew's chapter 1. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
Because this is something I believe Hebrews read over and didn't really pay attention to. So it says, verse 1. It says, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Matter of fact, the first people who I brought it to was the gathering of Christ. Is one of the members. And Dave was like, yeah, it definitely says what it says. So Abraham begot Isaac. Let me ask you, who was Isaac's father?
Abraham.
Right, because it says begot him. So if you check the pattern, it goes from Abraham begot Isaac, and then it uses Isaac name again. So it says Abraham begot Isaac, then Isaac is twice. The Isaac begot Jacob, then Jacob name is used twice. And then Judas begot, and then his name is used twice, right? So that's the pattern, all the way down, all the way down. So it's so-and-so begot so-and-so, and then you use that same name to beget somebody. So the name is used twice. So there'll be no confusion, correct?
Uh, let me double check.
Like for example, look at verse 2. It says Abraham begot Isaac, and then it doesn't say and Jacob, because you could be confused to think Abraham begot Isaac and Jacob. So it says Abraham begot Isaac, and then use Isaac name twice. It says Isaac begot Jacob, and then you use Jacob name twice because you'll think Isaac begot Judas.
Okay.
You get me? So Abraham begot Isaac, Isaac begot Jacob, Jacob begot Judas and his brethren. And are you there with me on verse 3? Or you don't got to be there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. And who did Judas beget?
Ferris.
Right. And who else?
And Sarah.
Right. And who's Tamar?
Thamar?
Yeah.
Of Thamar?
Yeah. Who?
There was Thamar was one of his wives, right?
Right. Tamar was the mother of Phares and Zerah, correct?
That's what it said.
Right. But how do you know for sure in this verse that she's the mother of those two?
I know for sure.
Yeah.
According to the scripture?
To verse 3.
Yeah, according to the scripture.
Right.
It just said of Thamar.
Right. So we know when you're the father because you beget somebody, and we know you're the mother because it's going to say of the woman, the mother. Of is a preposition, just means belonging to. So Judas is responsible of why Phares and Zerah is born, and Phares and Zerah is of their mother Tamar. That's all it's telling you. And Phares begot Esrom, and Esrom begot Aram in verse 4. And Aram begot Amminadab, and Amminadab begot Nasan, and Nasan begot Salmon, verse 5. And Salmon begot Booz of Rechab. See? So Salmon begot Booz. He's the father of Booz, and Rechab is the mother of Booz. So it says Booz of Rechab. So of belongs to mom. Solomon begot Booz. And then it says Booz begot Obed of Ruth. So it's let you know who's the mother and father. And then it says Obed. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it says Obed begot Jesse. So what's interesting is that we have women in his genealogy. And then it says, and Jesse begot David the king, and David the king begot Solomon. Solomon is of her. See, so he's of her, who had been the wife of Uriah. And who's that her, according to the scriptures?
Hold on. I've lost my place, bro. Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat her that had been a wife for you. That's Bathsheba.
Right. So you see the pattern. The dad begets the son, and the son is of their moms. So Solomon is of her, is of Bathsheba. So then we read on, no other woman is mentioned until Mary. So when you go to verse 16, can you start there?
Yep. And Jacob begat Joseph,
Right,
the husband of Mary,
right.
of whom was born Christ, who was called Christ, Jesus, who was called Christ.
Right. So how do you interpret that?
And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who was called Christ.
So here's three questions. Who begot Joseph?
Jacob,
Who was Mary's husband?
Joseph,
Who was Jesus born of? Of. O-F.
Joseph,
No,
and Mary.
no.
Joseph.
No. Slow down. You're missing the pattern. Of belongs to the woman, begot belongs to the man. So the question was, who begot Joseph? We know Jacob did because it says it. And then we say, who was Mary's husband? And we read Joseph because it says it. And then it says, who was Jesus born of? And it's Mary because it says it. It says Jesus of Mary, or Mary was of whom was born Jesus. Jacob begot Joseph. Joseph begot nobody, but he's the husband of Mary. And Mary is of, don't forget, you say the name twice, there's no confusion. And Jacob begot Joseph, Joseph the husband of Mary, Mary of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. That's how that reads.
And Jacob begat Joseph.
Right. And Joseph, the husband of Mary.
Of whom
Mary,
was born Jesus, who was called Christ.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So the child is of their mother and they're begotten by their father.
And Jacob begat Joseph,
right?
the
And who's
husband
Joseph?
of Mary, of whom was born Christ, who was called, that's how I read, but born Jesus, who was called Christ.
It's the same difference. I do the same thing because our brain is wired a certain way in this English language.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So
Jacob begot Joseph. We know the pattern. Dads beget their kids.
Well, who? I know we know the pattern, but how you know Matthew wanted to keep the pattern going when he was talking about Christ?
Okay, because it's the same language. Again, if you use the name twice to avoid confusion, like the beginning did, and Jacob begot Joseph, then start with Joseph. Joseph is the husband of Mary. It makes sense. And then Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who was called Christ. The last name mentioned could be repeated twice just to avoid confusion. Otherwise, we'll think Abraham had all those kids.
What's your point though? Like, it's still not gonna.
Okay,
it's still,
my
point is, doesn't prove that.
Sure it does. So my point is,
Christ had not an earthly father.
Okay. Well, we didn't read it in his own. This is Joseph, like you said. This is Joseph's genealogy, and we read he has no kids up to this point in his own genealogy. The only kid mentioned was of his wife, which is Mary. It says Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called the Christ. And that's why Galatians 4:4 says God sent forth his son made of a woman.
Made under the law?
Under the law of a woman.
And I showed you what the law is. You had to conceive.
Wait, no. That's not the law, because
that's
Abraham.
The law. What law is
okay,
it?
so explain Melchizedek.
Okay. What about Melchizedek? That's in Hebrews 7. You read Hebrews 7?
So what's the law with him?
There's no law with him. He doesn't have a mother and father. He was just sent. No.
But he calls him a priest, though.
Yeah, so what?
But aren't the priests of the Levite tribe?
No, it explains all that in Hebrews 7, bro. You're making it so hard for yourself.
No. I'm making it very easy. You're the one adding confusion. We
No,
just
I'm
read
not. I'm
okay,
just
look.
saying what the Bible
No,
says,
no,
bro.
no. Actually, okay, let's read what the Bible
You
says.
going you going off of stripes of words on how people wrote the accounts, but you just gotta
Look,
people make these are human
who
beings
did
that they
who
make
did
mistakes, bro.
got you? Who did okay, now the Bible makes mistakes. Who did
I'm
Joseph get?
I didn't say the Bible made mistakes. I said the people that were writing it probably made a mistake because they don't know
Okay,
everything.
so the Bible is in question then.
No, the
Because man,
Bible's not in question.
right. So let's just read what it says. All right, so
Okay.
look, let's get past this. Forget about it. Right. I think you come to it later, so there's no need to beat a dead horse. Either you or I, right? Because maybe your view, maybe I come to that, maybe you come to mine. Doesn't matter. Let's get past that. It's no point to argue on one thing. There's so much to go over.
Yeah.
So can you read verse 18?
Now the birth of Christ was on this blood. You know how many times I went over this, bro? You
Oh yeah,
probably seen the
you and I
breakdown.
both. You and I both because I have Catholic background, so we've been doing this a long time. So you and I both been reading over this over and over. So verse 18, just for clarity's sake. Go ahead.
Now the birth of Christ was on this wise. Why does it say on this wise?
It's saying like this is how it was done.
It's saying on this wise because you gotta know the law. You gotta know the law on what it's about to say, right? Read on. When as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph before they came together. What that mean?
Before they came together to have sex.
No, that's not what that means.
All right, well, let's just finish reading first. Before they came together, what happened?
Before they came together, that means before they got married.
All right, so finish. There's a few.
She was found with child of the Holy Ghost.
All right, so in this verse, like you said, we're just reading the Bible. In this verse, who is Jesus Christ's mother?
Mary.
Because it said it, right?
Yeah.
Who's his father?
Joseph.
Does it say it?
Yeah, it says Mary was espoused to Joseph as his mother and father.
Wait, no, I'm saying like, does it say it plainly like it says Mother Mary?
It says Mother Mary was espoused to Joseph. What that mean?
Okay, so hold on. Let's slow down. Like the same thing verse 16 said. Verse 16 said that Joseph was the husband of Mary, but Mary was of whom Jesus was born. So it says the same thing. Like we keep reading from Matthew. So this is the writer. The writer, this is not just you and I interpreting something. This is the writer acknowledging that Mary is always his mother and Joseph is just the husband of Mary. Okay, so now let's address the before they came together. So now you said that means before they got married?
Yeah.
So when I read other places where it said when it's came together, that's going to mean, so if I read somewhere else where somebody came together, is that going to say married?
You just have to know, bro. It's plain, bro. It's in the law. It's all over it's
All
a
right,
couple
so let's
times in the
just,
Bible.
no
Yeah,
problem. So no. Let's just keep reading to see if that makes sense.
Well,
So
verse 19 explains it.
wait. Wait, before we go
ahead.
there. So isn't it illegal to have a baby without being married?
Is it illegal to have a baby without being married?
Right, because that's not under the law.
Sex is marriage.
Okay, hold on. Wait. So if sex is married,
Sex is marriage.
right? So I'm trying to understand this. So when as his mother Mary was exposed to Joseph, so before they
Wait. What was your question again?
came together means sex, like you said, right? No, married. It means married, right?
What was your question?
The question was before they came together. What does that mean to you?
Before they was married.
Right. And you said marriage is sex.
Yeah, because you have to go in the marriage chamber.
Right. So you agree with me. So when I said before they came together with sex, you say married, you're just playing with words. Same thing.
Before
they
came together, before they was married, and everybody
sex.
knew they went in the marriage chamber.
Wait. So does marry mean sex or not?
Marriage is sex.
Okay, so
remember when Remember when Isaac and
Now,
Rebecca
I agree with,
went to the
you know,
tent?
now, look, I agree with that, you know.
Right.
But I'm saying here, this just came together will be sex and not married. Because if they had sex before the chamber, like you said, how was that lawful? They're skipping a customary that the Jews would do.
Is that a law?
Is it bad?
Is it a law?
Um, I'm trying to find out from you. Is it a law?
No, it's not a law. It's just a custom.
Okay, so now read verse 19. I'm glad you said that. Read verse 19. That's gonna go wrong for you. Read verse 19.
Verse 19. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example,
Right.
minded to put her away privately.
So why would he put her away privately for something they didn't break? Like, so they didn't break the law. So why do you want to divorce her?
Because you know that it was our custom that in the marriage chamber,
But it's not law though. So that means you don't have to do it.
it's a law that you have to show your sheets.
Oh, so now it's law.
According to the scripture, it's a law.
Wait, you just said it. Okay, so brother, you're talking both ways. You just said it was not a law, it was custom, and now you're saying it's a law. So that means they broke the law then. So if it was a law, then
I said the marriage chamber is a custom. That's what I said.
okay, so the marriage chamber is a custom that they skipped, correct?
Right.
So why would he want to? So maybe I missed this part. So why would he want to put her away just because they missed that custom?
Because you would get stoned to death.
Why?
If why? Because
Yeah.
she would be a considered a whore.
Because
if it wasn't blood on the sheets.
Because they missed the chamber thing?
Because they didn't go through the process of being married, having a marriage ceremony, and being in the marriage chamber.
So she would get stoned because Joseph decided to skip that.
They decide.
Well, actually, no. Like you said before, the man goes into the woman. Cain knew his wife. Adam knew his wife. It's the man who goes when Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife." So it's the man who initiates the action. It's not the woman.
You got to remember, an angel came to Mary, so she was excited about it.
Wait. Hold on. So Joseph skipped the arrangement, and let's say they both get blamed. All right, let's just say screw it. They both get blamed. But how would that make him a just man to skip something that gets his wife stoned?
Say that again.
How would Joseph skipping a custom that's not law, like you said. This is a custom. So he skipped the custom. Now I don't know what custom to get you stoned. That's not a law. But Joseph skips the custom, and by doing that,
the law gets you stoned.
Okay, so Joseph skipped the custom that led to a law that could get his wife stoned. How would that make him a just man?
Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privately.
Yeah.
He was a just man because he kept the commandments.
Wait, but why did he skip the custom to even put her in that position?
Because Mary was excited about Christ coming, so she has sex.
Okay, so wait. Nah, well, she can't force it on him. Like he has to. Well, a just man would tell her, "Nah, Mary, we got to wait on that."
Humbly, we are. Well, I don't know if you keeping the commandments, but humbly, I know me and my brothers are just men, and we have sex, right, with our wives.
So, what's the law again? Let me go through the law. So, what's the law?
About seeing the damn blood on the sheets to know that she was a virgin.
Yeah, I don't think that's the law for a marriage.
Well, if not, she'll be stoned.
Is that in the Bible?
It's Deuteronomy. It's in Deuteronomy 22.
All right, so let me get that for you. I think you need some help with this one. I'm gonna help you out. I told you I'm from Catholic background. That's all we do is we read these verses, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you out. What the law was had nothing to do with marriage, by the way. So if we go to verse
Start at verse.
22,
Start at verse.
let's start at 5. No, not 5.
13. You want to start at 13?
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to share something with you that you have to stop repeating from this point forward. It says, if any man take a wife and go into her and hate her and give occasion of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her, saying, I took this woman when I came to her. I found. So this is an example of a man going into his woman that was promised to him, but had sex with somebody else before him. Okay, so this got nothing to do with marriage, where he's the first person to go into her. This is a man who went to his woman secondly, not first. So now here's the rules for that. So if a man take on a wife and have sex with her, and it's found out that she's been having sex before she has sex with him, this is what happens next. Then the father of that damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity until the elders of the city negate. Now, why are they doing this? It's because she shamed the family. He's calling her, this man is calling his father-in-law daughter a whore. Okay. So, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man, and he hated her. So he spoke terrible against her. And lo, he had given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. So I did not find this woman a virgin. She been screwing already. She a thought. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him. That's only if that he was lying. So that means that if she was an actual virgin, then his accusations about her will be a lie, and he shall be condemned. But then it says, verse 20 says, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then the damsel shall be stoned. So this cloth thing, this is only as proof that a man's daughter is a virgin because his son-in-law says she wasn't. This has nothing to do with a ceremony of marriage. Nobody proudly just say, hey, look, everybody, my wife's a virgin. It's already understood that your wife's a virgin. Because that's the law. The law is you don't have sex unless you're married or promised to somebody. So you don't got to go bragging your wife's a virgin. People already assume that.
Not necessarily.
Okay, so let me put it this way. What happens if a woman is not married and have sex with somebody?
They married.
No. If she has sex with somebody, she's considered a harlot.
According to Exodus 22, if a man takes a maid, he should undoubtedly take her to be his wife. So if the man doesn't want to make her his wife, then yeah, she played the harlot. She fornicated.
Right. And what happens to her?
I don't know. They be put. I don't know if
she's gonna die for sure.
She's not married, or the man's not married. Then nothing, bro. She's just a harlot, I guess.
No, if you played a harlot, that means you shamed your father's house and you get stoned.
Where's that at?
Okay, let me finish reading. I'm glad you said that. Okay, so verse 24. I'm still reading. Matter of fact, I'll just continue. 22. No. 20. Let me go to 20. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she has brought father Israel to play the whore. So when you play the whore, you die in her father's house. So shall thou put evil away from among you. So you can't play the whore and live in Israel.
Listen, that's because. What are you talking about, bro? You didn't say that.
Okay, so first
you didn't say that she was a virgin. Now you just said for a woman.
I'm saying if a woman plays the whore in Israel, she dies. If
No,
she's caught,
she doesn't die, bro.
okay, can you show me a situation where a woman played the whore and she didn't die?
Many a times
Go ahead.
when with Judah and
Tamar. So
right.
I was hoping you say that. Now, why did she die? That's because Judah blamed himself. Remember, he blamed himself. He didn't blame her. So remember, you got to accuse the woman amongst the elders. He didn't do that. He said, "I'm at fault, not you." He said you were. He said you were in the right because she was promised a seed, right? She was promised to keep the lineage going, and Judas broke that promise because he felt like she was a curse to his sons. I'm telling you, yo, we had the discussions in the Catholic study group. You should join us all the time. So that's why Judas didn't kill her, because he said, I was to blame for this, not you. So all I did was prove that there's no virgin cloth before marriage. That's only to prove that your daughter was not a whore. So that's a father's job. And that's only because his daughter's being accused of something horrible as playing a whore. So, but you don't, there's nowhere in the Bible, believe me, you can try to concordance it, you could Google it. There's nowhere in the Bible where a man just voluntarily shows his wives tokens of virginity before Israel. That doesn't happen in the Bible. So that's why we go back to Matthew. We go back to Matthew's chapter 1. Yeah, you should really join our Bible study with the Catholic Church. I host the Bible studies, by the way. So there's a lot to learn. So anyway, now the birth of Jesus Christ was on his wives. When as his mother Mary was exposed to Joseph. You see, Joseph is Joseph, but Mary is his mother. Before they came together, now I would say that this isn't so clear. Right? I will admit when it says before they came together, it's not so clear. It is some skepticism there. It's a little foggy. It says she was found with the child of the Holy Ghost. So I will admit, before they came together, what isn't so clear exactly what it's meaning. So I'll admit that. But verse 19. So, but I'm saying if I'm right, let's say if I'm right, let's say before they came together means before they had sex. She was found with child of the Holy Ghost. That I'm gonna say Deuteronomy 22 will apply to Joseph. That Joseph is seeing his woman as the woman in verse 13. And he's not going to go inside her just to confirm that she has sex. He can see it. She's actually pregnant. So he don't have to go inside her to put a bad name on her. He can see physically, yo, you are pregnant. You've been having sex. So to be a just man would say, nah, I'm not going to bring you out before the elders of the gate and have you stoned and have your family, shamed and all that type of stuff. I'm just going to divorce you privately. Now, that's what a just man would do. And that's why I got from this passage right here. What do you say?
I see it differently.
Say what?
I see it differently, bro.
Yeah, tell me.
I told you.
Yeah, but we didn't read it. I read what you read, and that's not the law of marriage. That's the law of you're accusing somebody's daughter of playing a whore. Anyway, let's move on.
You still have to show the tokens, though, right? Right or wrong?
Only when you accuse her of not being a virgin.
You still have to show the tokens, bro.
Right. After you accuse her of lying the whole time, act like she was a virgin.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, whatever. So Matthew's account, because it starts from verse 18, where it talks about the Holy Ghost, Mary's pregnancy and her espoused husband Joseph, right? So it talks about those things. And then the angel's going to appear to Joseph. I didn't read it, but that was the next verse. So the angel appeared to Joseph in Matthew chapter 1, verse like 20 or 21, something like that. And the angel appeared to Mary in Luke chapter 1, somewhere in there. So you are aware that Mary's account in Luke happened before Joseph's account in Matthew's 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Come
right.
on. And Luke 3, right?
No. Luke
I
chapter
mean, not Luke. Yeah, right. My bad. Yeah.
right. This is something you might want to jot down and bring it to your peoples, or you can invite them more too, and we can have a family discussion. All right. So let me just pull it up for you. I hate this Mac for certain things. This MacBook is terrible. It's good for certain things, but it's terrible for other things. Okay. So before we do that, let me set it up. Have you read about the story of Sarah and Isaac?
Sarah and Isaac.
Yeah. That she was barren, and she was promised to have a kid later on.
Oh, Sarah and Abraham.
Well, Sarah, that's her husband. Her son would be Isaac, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, it's the same thing. Sarah, Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, same thing. So are you familiar with that thing with Sarah being barren and she was promised that she'll give birth one day?
Oh, what are you talking about? You gotta go to it.
All right, no problem, no problem. Look, there's some things you're going to bring up in the Bible that I had no clue of. It's not that I've never seen it before. It's just that that's not on my plate, right? And there's some things I'll bring up because the Bible is a big, big book. And there's some things I'll bring up that you can't recall at the moment, but I'm sure you came across it before. This story is very popular. So I'm sure once I start reading, you're going to recall it. Okay. So if you go to Genesis, so I'm going to bounce around a little bit. So I'm going to first start at Genesis 11, then I'm going to bounce to Genesis 16, then I'm going to bounce to Genesis 17.
Oh, why are we going? Why are we going here?
Because I just want to add context to what happened with Sarah, right? So there'll be no room for confusion or disagreement. Okay. So I just want to point out in Genesis 11:29 that before she was named Sarah, her name was Sarai. Right. So that's all I want to point out in Genesis 11:29. But verse 30 is important because it says that she was barren. So I just want to, for the sake of clarity, we could just agree. Amos 3:3. We got to walk together to agree. So we got to agree that Sarah was once barren and she had no child. That's Genesis 11:30. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So do you know why Sarah believed she was barren?
Yeah, I had no child.
Yeah, but do you know why? Yeah, but the word barren, she can't have kids. Do you know why she thought she was barren, couldn't have no kids?
Because when you're barren, that means you can't have kids because you're too old. She says.
Right, but who did she blame? Who did she blame for causing her barrenness?
I'm not sure.
Right, that's important. So Genesis chapter 16, verse 2. If you can read that.
And Sarai said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. Right?
Stop. So Sarah
obviously
understood that women become barren because the Lord makes them barren.
Okay.
That's not something they're born with. The Lord makes them barren for a reason.
Yeah, that's obvious. Right?
Okay, cool. That's what I'm trying to say. I just want to. I didn't know that you accepted that. That's why I like to. I don't want to assume something for you and then make an argument against it. That's not fair. I'd rather just ask you plainly, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So now Genesis 17, verse 15. You got to get it, but
that's right there.
Okay. So the angel didn't come to Abraham. Like many Israelites thought the angel came to Abraham. God came to Abraham himself. So it was no angel. So verse 15, it says, and God said unto Abraham, Sarah shall be her name, basically. So no more Sarai. It will be Sarah. Okay. So verse 19, just confirmation. And God says, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed. So there's no angel. There's the God himself, the Father, is talking to Abraham, promising him something. And he said, I will establish my covenant with that son and all of his seed after him. So seed ain't sperm, it's offspring after him. Okay. So now, when you go to verse 21, this is very important. Again, these are things that most people just read past. His covenant that he's going to establish with Isaac which Sarah shall bear to thee, is at a set time. So he's telling Abraham and Sarah when it's going to happen. He said, this is next year, this time. So God appoints you a time when things are going to happen. If he doesn't, then it's instantaneously. Okay. So now that Abraham and Sarah got the good news from God himself, that she won't be barren for long, next year she'll be able to, like you said in Leviticus, she will be able to conceive seed. Okay, now do me a favor. Go to Genesis chapter 18 and read verse 13 and 14.
Got it right here. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee. According to the time of life, Sarah shall have a son. Good.
So for one, the Lord said, don't put no restraints on him. He can do whatever he wants. If he wants you to have no father, you're going to have no father. If he wants you to be barren, you're going to be barren. You know what I mean? So there's nothing he cannot do. Everything's easy for him. So Sarah laughed and doubted that she can have a kid in her barren state. Like most women, wants to become barren, only the Lord can remove it. So Sarah didn't believe that this could be done. She doubted it. She said, not only am I barren, but I'm old. This is similar. We'll read this next to somebody else. So then God said, is there anything too hard for me? Like, why you act like I just can't make it possible? And he said, at the point in time next year, you'll have a son. Have faith. Okay, so even though we both agree that the Lord is the one who makes people barren, I just got a precept to confirm it. So Genesis chapter 20. Can you read verse 18?
For the Lord had fast closed up all the wombs of the house of Amalek because of Sarah Abram's wife.
Right, because they mocked Sarah, so he made all those women barren.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is why we're going to start going to the streets too and start getting you guys back into the church, the Catholic Church.
Hell no. Fire upon the Catholic Church.
Brother, this is where the truth is at.
Bro, y'all crazy, man.
Okay. Go ahead. Go to Genesis chapter 21. Let's just confirm the Lord's promise. Read verse 1 and 2.
And the Lord, Sarah, as he said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived. Come on, bro. Really? That's plain.
Right. Just confirmation.
How she conceived?
And bared.
Huh?
And bared Abraham a son, right?
Right.
Right. Why you can't?
What's your point, though? What's your point?
This is my point was this was the confirmation of his promise to Sarah.
Okay, and
that's it.
All right.
Yeah, it's just confirmation. I'm just showing how the Lord promised something to Sarah and he delivered at the appointed time, right?
Okay.
Okay, so are you familiar with Manoah and Samson?
Yeah, I read that like a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Go ahead and give me Judges chapter 13.
Pull it up for me. You got it.
I got you. So verse 2, it says, and there was a certain man. So let's keep in mind that the Lord appointed a time for Sarah later that she'll have her son. This was not supposed to be something immediate. Okay. So Judges chapter 13, verse 2. I'm going to get all y'all in the Catholic Church. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah. And his wife also was barren, and bare not. 3, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman and said to her, thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Okay? This is the angel now talking. There's no set time. There's no set date. You're going to be able to conceive and bear a son. And Manoah said, so this is verse 12, because the story is she ran back to her husband and told him what she experienced. But she didn't know it was an angel. She thought it was just a regular man, but she said his countenance was of an angel. So she wasn't sure. So Manoah had prayed to God to send the man, the quote unquote man, back down and deliver the message to him. So verse 12, pick it up from there. And Manoah, and then once the messages were relayed to him, the angel actually came back. And once the angel explained to him what he told to his wife, Manoah said, now let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child, and how shall we do it to him? So he said, let thy words come to pass. So there's certain words in the Bible that people look past. So come to pass means done immediately. It doesn't mean the next year or next week. It says that's as soon as possible, the first chance you get. That's Hebrew H935, which means let your words go enter, come, go in. In verse 24, guess what? She bare a son immediately. And she called his name Samson, and the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. So no problem. So now we got two barren stories where the first woman, God set an appointed time for her to have a kid, which is the next year. And then this one, let the words come to pass, let it happen the way he says. And she had a kid immediately. Okay. So I'm sure you're familiar with Luke, whenever it talks about Elizabeth and John, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to bump up to verse 7 because it talked about they not having a child because Elizabeth was barren. And they were both now,
Okay.
And they were both now well stricken in years. So it adds the old age there for a reason. It adds the old age to let you know that being barren is, of course, you're not going to have kids. But letting you know when you're old, your chance of having kids then is also slim. So she's like double bad luck, old and barren. So like any chances of having a kid is pretty much gone. Okay. So the angel came to, I'll bump up to verse 13. I just want to get right to the point. But the angel said unto him, fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, John. Okay, so Zacharias was in doubt. Verse 18 explains that. And Zacharias said unto the angel, whereby shall I know this? For I am old, I'm an old man, and my wife is well stricken in years. So whereby shall I know this is meaning, do you have any proof? Do you have a sign that you can show me that this will happen the way he says it's going to happen? Verse 19, the angel answering said, I am Gabriel that stand in the presence of God, and am sent to speak unto you and to show you these glad words from the Most High. From Most High. The angel got mad and said, he shall be dumb and not be able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed. Okay, so now, what is easily missed is this. The angel gave him a time frame. It said, you shall be dumb, and you should not be able to speak until these things are going to be performed. Okay, so you won't be able to talk until your wife is pregnant, because you didn't believe my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season. That means exactly the way I said it. So your wife will be pregnant the same time you can be able to speak. So my boy, you can't talk until your wife becomes pregnant. Okay.
So when did he talk?
Got it. Verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that question was coming. Verse 23. Mm-hmm. And it came to pass that as soon as means as soon as possible, as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own house. So as soon as he got done with his ministration, he departed to his own house. This is immediately afterwards. And after those days of his ministration, that's verse 24, after those days of administration, his wife conceived. And that's when he could talk. As soon as he finished his ministration and went to his own house, he was able to see his wife, pregnancy, and he could talk now. But she conceived and she hid herself 5 months, saying, thus have the Lord take away my reproach among men. So even she knew, like Sarah knew, that it's the Lord who makes women barren. Okay? Mm-hmm. So we have a time frame, meaning that once your wife is able to conceive, you will be able to talk. So we know that when the angel visited him to tell about the good news, this was something that was supposed to happen immediately. This pregnancy was supposed to happen immediately, or as soon as he can. So as soon as he, as the Bible says, verse 23, as soon as he finished administration, he went home. When he went home, poof, she's pregnant. And she hid herself 5 months. So now that's a very important thing that most people miss. That she hid herself 5 months because this is something between her and the angels. Her family, her people, her peers, her neighborhood, her neighbors thinks she's barren. It can't have kids. So she hid herself because if she's pregnant amongst people, they would know that something happened. The Lord must have blessed her. So she hid herself from the people. Right, verse 26. And the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God until a city of Galilee named Nazareth. So this same angel in Elizabeth's 6th month of pregnancy was sent to Nazareth. To who? To a virgin espoused to Joseph of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary. So now this virgin don't have, like we all know she was an actual virgin, but she was also a young woman at a marriageable age. But we all know that she didn't have sex either. So she was both. She was a young woman and she was a virgin without sex. No argument there, right?
Say that again.
Huh?
Oh, say that again, Slocky.
So there's no argument that when it says virgin, she's both. She's a young woman, a maiden, and she's also a woman without sex.
A virgin could mean a young woman or one that hasn't had sex. Right?
And she's both at this stage. She's both, correct?
You talking about Mary or Elizabeth?
Mary.
Mary was a young. Right.
Right. So she's a young woman virgin, and she's also without sex virgin.
Right.
Okay. It could be Mary because she was old. So a virgin, you got to be a young woman to be at least a young woman to be called a virgin. And Mary said she was old. Her and Sarah was old, so they can't be called a virgin.
Who said Mary was old?
Huh?
Who said Mary was old? Where's that at?
No, okay, my bad. If I said Mary, that was a slip of the tongue. I meant to say Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth could not be called a virgin in any sense because she's too old for one to be a maiden virgin and a young woman, and she's already having sex, and this is how she knows she's barren. So she can't be called a virgin in any sense. But Mary is a virgin in both sense. She's a young marriageable woman at a marriageable age, and she never had sex. Okay. So I want to skip right into the conversation because we know that the angel went to her and said this to her, verse 30. And the angel said unto her, fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with God. And thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son, Jesus. Now, the verse 34 is going to be damaging for people who don't believe the virgin birth.
Thou shalt conceive. That word again, bro.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Now, I'm not caught up on the word conceive at all. Like, I would just go on rounds with you. I was sparring with you to let you know that the word seed doesn't always mean, it can mean child.
Okay, conceive. I'm dealing with the word conceive.
So, what does conceive mean? Tell me.
To become pregnant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But how do you become pregnant?
Well, most of the time in the Bible, you have to have a man.
You had to be fertilized with sperm, bro.
Yeah, but most of the time, you're right.
No, all the time, bro.
Okay, so we'll see. Okay.
All right,
So
land your plane because I'm gonna end it with this precept and then we off this topic. I'm not gonna believe the virgin birth. Go ahead, bro.
all right, well now then just end it then. Go ahead and finish with the precept.
You believe in the Apocrypha?
I don't read it, but I accept it.
All right, go to Wisdom.
No, I don't have it though. I don't have it.
All right, so I'm gonna read it. Wisdom of Solomon 7. I'm gonna start at verse 1. This is Solomon, obviously. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the times of 10 months. being compact in blood, of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air, and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares. For there is no king, for there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men, for all men have one interest into life, and the light going out.
Right. He talked about being in his mother's womb. Jesus was in his mother's womb also.
And then it said right here, of the seed of man.
Yeah, and we know seed means lineage.
Seed right here means sperm.
Nah. Okay. Go to Strong's.
No, I'm not doing that, bro. This is plain, bro. We don't gotta do the strong.
All
Blah,
right,
blah,
brother.
blah,
Brother, when you're
Read
ready,
the Bible as it is, bro.
brother, when you're ready, the Catholic
It
doors will accept you.
explains what the seed is in Leviticus 15 and 16, bro.
Okay, so let's read the Strong's for that word seed.
You don't have to read the Strongs for that.
Oh
bro.
shit! Oh, you one of those guys?
You go precept upon precept.
Yeah, yeah. You like. Wait, do you know that's actual wrong? Or that's a bad thing to do. Precept upon precept.
Oh my God. You're Old Testament only too?
No, I'm both. I'm Catholic. You know Catholic dude. Catholic. Oh,
Bro,
oh,
it's all right, bro. We got different understandings. Do you keep any commandments?
no. I walk in faith.
Bro, you're supposed to keep the commandments. How you gonna get into the kingdom?
Jesus didn't keep commandments.
Who?
Jesus.
Bro, I'm done, bro. Have a good day.
Can I prove it?
No, can I prove to you that he did?
Well, sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't.
Bro, stop, bro. I'll talk to you later.
Can I prove it? See, you run it. Yeah, yeah.